He hits it, and there everything broke apart right there. There was a group where Van der Poel, Billings, Sembo, and Trago were. Tobias Anderson.
Oh, what a race there.
There's Chifel, there's Roble, there's Pelezares, Jorgensen, Del Toro. And who stayed behind? Who stayed at the top? No, none of them. None of the ones at the top stayed. Also.
But someone got upset because they're really going after him. Someone important, they're being targeted. Since Isabel Toro is at the wheel, she won't back down. Look, Mathieu Van der Poel is on the phone. Maybe they're updating him on the second group's progress. He's in contact, in communication, Isa, Hector, Honores. There's a third man, Lucho. I think he's the only one left from Emirates with the Mexican cyclist, Lucho Escobar.
He's the one I'm trying to observe. There, because they're Isaac Del Toro. Yes, that's Rogel who's there. There's Van der Poel, Philipsen, who's Van der Poel's teammate, and Santiago Buitrago is there. There's Andresen, Ben Henley, Thymen Aresman, and Magnus Schiffer, the two from Ineos. There's Pinarello, that's Alexander Pinarello, and Primoz Roglic with Pelissari, and Jorgensen is there. Isaac Del Toro. Isaac Del Toro doesn't have anyone there so far. Hey!
Lucho, not...
Who is very skillful. Lucho has been very skillful.
Still?
No, I mean, he's been very skillful. Del Toro, because at one point the group had split into 3 parts. And he sped up in the second part where he was to get exactly to the front part of a Van der Poel. So he was very, very attentive, and of course, it's normal for him to be very attentive.
Yeah.
Besides.
There's already an explanation for why.
Let's see.
There's already an explanation.
Iñaki, if I give you this, that they're taking the 3 men, it confirms Bonds is still in the race, the one who...
Yes, well, yes.
Danny Van Poppel, my dear Iñaki.
There's already an explanation. Jonathan Milan and Arnaud Delis have fallen behind. So that was the intention that the rider Mathieu Van der Poel had to break away as much as possible and increase that gap, which right now is the 23 seconds over that group where Jonathan Milan and Arnaud Delis are.
Also remember, Sam Wolford as another contender for the finish. Even if it's just to interfere, he still makes the stage's top 10. So those 3 you just mentioned, Milan, Delis, and Sam Wolford, are 3 tough competitors that Van der Poel and Jasper Phillips have to deal with along the way.
Let's take a look here to watch the action. Oh, there's Roglic over there, very well positioned in 3rd place. And he's 121 in the overall standings.
Of the ones up front, Tobias Johansson, who's 4th, isn't there, and he's not there either.
I don't think so exactly, I don't think so, since the guys blocking in the back are just random. They're going all out. It must be that Tobias got stuck too. The one who's holding on is Matteo Jorgensen. This guy in yellow, Lucho, but I think it's the big guy I'm seeing dressed here in yellow. On Roglic's wheel, Roglic fell a little behind there. But here comes Richard Ben Haley. Ben Haley, also from Education. They're slowly panning the camera for us. The select group must already be with Luchito. They're handing out water bottles, El Grandecito, but they did terrible damage in the back. Now I can see the hole. That missile made Mr. Lucho. I'm listening to you.
Yes, that hole, that gap, that missile that hit has a name. Mathieu Van der Poel, right? Lined up, pushing, crouched down. Very good, very skilled, that young man on the bike. So that's the situation. Yes, there is Matteo Jorgensen with Wout van Aert. Wout van Aert is closing in there, the gap, but they're really pushing him hard. Isaac Del Toro, very alert, very active, very active. Santiago Buitrago, very alert. Ben Henley, the rocker. Oh, Kimo, you were just saying that they had criticized Carapaz yesterday for what he did, and the day before when he went out, when his teammate was leading the race. Do you remember that he won the kid, Valgrim?
Yes.
That Carapaz also went out to try to catch up. And we were saying they're going to do a 1-2.
Do a 1-2, yes.
Well, one of the coaches came out to make a statement saying it was shameful what Richard Carapaz had done, that no one had told him to do that. The order was different, and Carapaz went off script and did that within Education. That post also seems to be a mess.
Of course, Lucho. I think that the principal should fix that from the inside, on the inside part, but not from the outside. Because that's exactly what we journalists need, to be given a little bit of leeway. And there are some who are doing entire authentic texts out of little notes.
I mean, no.
I think it's a bit unfortunate for the director.
Should I take Arnaud Delis out of the packaging, Lucho, or will he catch up to the group? On the circuit, no, he looks really off, not himself on the bike. Right?
Correct, correct. And Zimmerman too. Well, Zimmerman, he's going there, but Zimmerman isn't really trying to help Arno Delis much, but it's cost him on this climb. Like Iñaki Uy said,
Oof, this guy is incredible. He's a beast. Mathieu van der Poel tore the race apart. He and Alpecin, the team, and led by this rider. Attention, ladies and gentlemen. Isaac Del Toro holds on and passes. Rogli passes Matteo Jorgensen. Let's look at their faces. Santiago Buitrago, they crossed the mountain prize in that order, but no, they didn't fight for it. There was no bargaining. Mr. Lucho, I don't think that in the order we narrated them. Combo.
Yes, that's how it was. Anyway, Rubencho, we're still far from the finish line. It's 90 kilometers. Now we're starting a pretty technical descent from Ripatron zone towards San Benedetto del Tronto. In about 20 kilometers, we'll be reaching the first pass through the finish line. And from there, it will be absolutely flat. So we know that the work that the Ineos and Lidl Trek teams have to do to bring their star riders up is fundamental. To catch up with that group where Mathieu van der Poel is still leading on the descent.
3 groups, I think, right? There are 3 groups. Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. The one who is left without a domestique. I don't like the word domestique, but the one who is left without an important domestique is Pogacar and Isaac Del Toro, because according to L'Equipe, Pavel Sivakov has signed a contract with Decathlon to join for the next 3 seasons and support Paul Sixes. I mean, Pavel Sivakov, we have to admit that he's one of the best domestiques in the peloton. I mean, so it's been a ride that's a little strange. And then there's another one I see. I'm seeing something strange and need to look at it carefully. About Rogli, right? Not the Tour de Suisse, Tour de France, or even Vuelta a Burgos, which he usually attends. He doesn't race in any event between Romandie and the Vuelta a España because he says he wants to be at home because it's been a long time since he went, and he wants to be with his family, and that really makes me feel a bit strange, so I'm going to keep an eye out to find out something.
No, that's the runner Neves who leased to that one. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like running races because he says he might fall or something. And it turns out that, do you remember the other time when Chaillot started taking a selfie at the Tour de France? The man ran the Tour without actually running. He had run 1 or 2 races and they say he's not well adapted, and he goes off to one side and he fell and had to withdraw. So Rogli doesn't really like to race much. I don't know why. It's a kind of preparation. He prefers to be in training rather than in races. Hey, Van der Poel is going at it like he doesn't...
And it's like he's finishing. And Store, watch out. This is happening. 87 to the finish. It's a huge strain. The damage they're doing, Store got in there. It's just that I saw a black Tudor jersey even talking with Mathieu van der Poel. I don't know what they were exchanging, but he's right there at the front. Isaac Del Toro isn't moving. Also the looks. It's just that Isaac barely has how much over second place? 23?
42.
42.
About Jorgensen.
No, they won't take a second or a hair from him today. The damage is big because Zimmerman is suffering in the back. They want to bring over here some people who disconnected. And the race broke up very early, that we thought this was going to be kind of boring because of that 5-lap circuit at the end and all that. But no, the race is at its peak thanks to Alpecin, Mathieu van der Poel, Isaac Del Toro, Roglic, who is in the mix. Tell me, Mr. Iñaki.